So I'm hoping that Torey Lovullo can forgive us for being tardy in his segment. I think that's like the second time that's happened this season, Torey. Sorry about that, man.
You guys owe me. We're good. We're always good.
Here we go again. You said that the last time. At some point, you're going to come and collect on these things that we owe you for being late. Our apologies, man.
You guys have enough street cred with me. It was, and I've probably done it to you 40 times over the past 8 years. So you do it twice, we're good.
I got him a bottle of limoncello from Italy, so that bought a little bit of time.
Okay.
A little bit of
all
those.
right, I'll a bottle of booze for Torey, and that's next time I'm at a game.
Not easy to do because you got to store it somewhere. You got to pack it, put it in a couple socks so it doesn't break in your luggage. You can't carry that bad boy on.
Right,
so
right.
There's a lot of effort there. I know that.
Yeah, it had to be tucked away really, really good to make sure it didn't break.
That's fantastic.
All right, I'm going to start with what excited me the most, and that was the performance by Brandon Pfaadt. You said he had no-hit stuff. It was incredible. I've always felt that he had the best stuff out of all the young pitchers you had. And I know the win-loss record isn't great, and unfortunately, he got a no decision in that game. But, man, I love the fact that he's giving you about six to 7 innings every single time out right now, and he's been just flat-out dominant.
Yeah, that goes back to a little conversation I felt like he and I had during the postseason last year. I kept taking him out after five-plus innings, right in that sweet spot to set it up with our bullpen. And I told him, I said, don't get used to this. You got good enough stuff to go 6, 7, 8 innings. We're going to get there. It's just right now you've done your job. And he took that to the next level from, day one of spring training. He's come out and he's really been executing game plans, working on his stuff. And it's translating right now. Every time he takes a field, I feel like he can go out there and keep us in a game and help us win a game. And that's the bottom line with our starting pitchers. And you're right. The other day, I could tell by the way the ball was coming out of his hand and the changeup that he was throwing in combination with that real good fastball and that sweeper. It was a pretty special day. Unfortunately, you know what? It was a day where he gave up one hit and it was a home run and he didn't get the win, but we won the game, and that's always the most important thing.
Yeah, and what I'm noticing this year is he's not having that big inning where he gives, where he has 25, 28, 30 pitches in an inning. He hasn't had 100 pitches in any of these outings, and he's been 6 innings or more, I think in like 5 of the last 6 or 6 of the last 7. So he's really avoided that brutal inning in which he throws a lot of pitches.
Yeah, I think that's always the key for good starting pitching, right? They can a little bit of damage control, not a big crooked number. The one outing that sticks out to me is he's basically unhittable for 5, and then I think he walked 3 of the first 4 hitters in the 6th inning, but we got that under control and ended up winning that game. You're right. It has been really, really consistent with his ability to attack the zone, keep the pitch count down, and go deep into games. And when our starting pitchers are doing that, it makes my life super easy. If I got to go to 1 to 2 guys a night in the bullpen, we're going to preserve those guys. I can pick the right guys with the right matchups, and it becomes very powerful.
All right, fine. I'll be the heel who asks you about Corbin Carroll. Are we okay with that? I'll be the one. How hard are you working now behind the scenes to get him to go easy on himself in the midst of all this?
Oh man, that's a hell of a question. That's where I've been sitting with him. Believe it or not, I'm not his hitting coach. I do know hitting. I know enough about hitting to jump into any type of conversation. But when he comes down and sits in my office and we start taking these deep dives, that's where my alarm is. I'm wanting to make sure that he stays in a good spot, getting good rest, eating right, coming to the ballpark, still giving the right input, the right effort, and he's been fantastic. So I monitor that with all players, especially young talented players that have had success, and now things are in this learning environment. And Corbin he's going out every single day and working hard. He's in a good spot. He's in a very good headspace, and that's hard. He's 23 years old. Let's go back to when we were 23 years old. I just was getting a wood bat in my hand for the first time. This guy's accomplished a lot, and he's a 1% of the 1%ers, and he's trying to be great, and he's going to find his way out of this. It's going to take some time. It is getting better, but I just got to have a good day today, and then wrap that up and have another good day tomorrow, and continue marching forward.
We had this conversation on the air the other day. In a situation like this with a player in general or specifically with Corbin, is there any benefit at all to him going down to the minors to rebuild some of his confidence?
Yeah, not for me, not right now. Every situation is extremely unique, and Corbin is an unbelievably talented player who's just going through some hardships right now. And he had a really strong foundation that he was standing on last year. Had good numbers. Had a really really strong first half. Was an all-star, and then there was a little bit of a slump. And we talked about it for 2 or 3 times, but this one just stands out because it's the start of the season. So as long as he continues to work hard, as long as he continues to give that right input and output every single day, he's going to be just fine, and he's going to turn this thing around.
Ginkel was a workhorse for you last year, and I was a big fan of his, and I still am. 3 of the last 4 outings, he's had some struggles. Blown save against Baltimore, blown save against Cincinnati. ERA's over 8 this month. Any concerns with him right now?
Yeah, Gambo, I'm too. I'm still a big fan of his. I remember what he did last year for us. He came on real strong, and he drove right into that very back end of a game, and he was lights out. And there were several games, many of which were in the playoffs late in the Philly series. Without him, we don't get to where we get to. So I'm with you on being a big fan because he's earned that. So the game's hard, and you have some hiccups, and things just don't go right for a few days. The biggest thing with Gink is putting the ball on the plate and cleaning up the delivery, and that's what the pitching coaches are doing with him every single day. So as soon as he puts the ball on the plate, this is going to be an easy fix. He's going to get on a great run.
Skip, I know you have a soft spot for the role players, and I'm really glad this organization has held on to Pavin Smith, because I always feel like he's going to be able to hit when he's 60 years old. That was a huge pinch hit the other day. That double, and then he scored obviously on the Gurriel bloop double. But that was a tough ball game, and you guys you didn't have many hits. Pavin Smith, tell me about pinch hitting him there and your confidence in him in those situations.
It's extremely high, and I'm with you. Pavin can hit. He's a really, really good hitter, and you're right. He's going to hit until he's 60 years old. He knows the strike zone. He can barrel up the baseball, and he's still learning and growing too. Considered, he's a young hitter. He's been in the minor leagues recently, so it's not like he's established himself here. So we want that to take place. We want him to have consistent at bats and get that swing moving in the good direction that it's in right now. So I was just looking for some offense. The other day was a really frustrating day, right? Very limited hits. It was a pitching defensive type of game, and I felt like we could have done more. Even though the starting pitcher was really good, we could have done more, and we put ourselves in that position. So I had to make a tough decision to pinch hit late in the game, but Pavin always puts up a quality at bat, and he walks up the home plate ready to go in those situations. You're right. It was a great swing, big double, and we win the game. 20 minutes later, we're shaking hands, so he did his job.
Skip, we appreciate the time as always. Good luck tonight against the Tigers. We'll talk soon, okay?
Okay, boys. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.
You got it. Torey Lovullo, the manager of the Diamondbacks, our guest.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona Sports.